All right, my friends, I am distressed on this day. Today's Wednesday, and I'm distressed. I'm distressed that people are saying that Alabama voters, or at the very least, a lot of Alabama voters, are stupid. I don't like hearing that about Alabama. They voted for Doug Jones instead of Judge Roy Moore. Here's how they did it. They did it by believing a bunch of 40-year-old accusations that had no proof attached to them, that just so happened to pop up weeks before a national election. So here's what the people in Alabama did vote for in voting for Doug Jones. They voted for a stooge and a lackey for Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and Hillary Clinton. They voted for more swamp. They voted for higher taxes. They voted for more liberalism. They voted for more political correctness. They voted for less border security. They voted for more weakness in foreign relations. They voted for a weaker military. They voted for more welfare. They voted for more Black Lives Matter. Donald Trump is under constant attack because he's draining the swamp. He's being attacked by the swamp. Trump has fought the good fight and continues to fight in order to give us, you and me, the average American, back our government. And yet millions of voters in Alabama voted to take control of the government away from the people and give it back to the hack politicians. They voted against government by the people, for the people, and of the people. They voted against honest government and instead went for dishonest government. They voted for the political hacks who wanted Hillary to be president. That's who the geniuses in Alabama voted for. I wish it was only the geniuses in Alabama. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people in this country who don't want freedom, don't want dignity, don't want to be respected by their elected officials. They want to remain sheep. They want to remain pawns. And those are the people who vote for the Hillary Clintons of the world, and the Nancy Pelosi's, and the Chuck Schumers, and the Barack Obamas, and the Doug Joneses. Yesterday's election is a tragedy not only because we've lost the Senate seat, not only because it makes the Trump agenda that much harder to implement. It's a tragedy because what it says about so many of us, the American people. It's Wednesday. Riell Truth. We'll be right back.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution. American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown reminds parents, keep an eye on your child while shopping. Children tend to stray or become lost. This poses an opportunity for a would-be abductor. Please make every effort to keep track of your little one at all times. If you have information regarding a lost child, call local authorities at once. This message is from American Window Tinting Incorporated in Franktown. For residential or commercial window tinting, call 303-263-4228. Piccolo's Restaurant in Denver reminds us that over 750,000 children were reported missing last year. Over 58,000 of these were abducted by non-family members. Keep an eye out for youngsters at play, and if you see anything suspicious, contact the authorities immediately. This message from Piccolo's Restaurant in Denver. It's not only the best Italian and Mexican cuisine, it's the people who care. Give them a call at 303-757-5166. 303-757-5166. Piccolo.
All right, guys, let's get started. If you're watching TV today, you probably saw people speaking to Congress about the Mueller investigation. It's a hot topic and a relevant one. You remember Bill O'Reilly used to be on Fox News? Of course you remember Bill O'Reilly. Now he's doing his own video podcast, I suppose. His guest is Victor David Hanson, whom you know. You've heard him on the show. And they're talking about the Mueller investigation. Let's listen in.
So let's bring in the guy. There's Victor David. He's a senior fellow.
My friends, what they're saying in English is the fix is in. The swamp is still trying to survive, fighting to survive. They're trying to take down Donald Trump because Trump is the one who wants sunlight to shine on this whole process, and they're hiding in the dark, and so they will stop at nothing to stop anyone who wants to shine sunlight on their nefarious goings-on. Let's go back to the interview.
I think what that committee is saying to us is that
My friends, this is business as usual with the U.S. government, which is why Donald Trump got elected and why we need him so much, because he is the antiseptic to clean up this stain on the Constitution. Item from the Daily Beast: Roy Moore wasn't the only loser Tuesday night. He might not even be the biggest one. The Alabama Republicans' stunning defeat at the hands of Democrat Doug Jones dealt a crushing blow to the nascent political operation helmed by former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon, who threw every ounce of his political muscle behind Moore's candidacy. Even as many national Republicans, save President Donald Trump, rushed to distance themselves following the emergence of sexual assault and child molestation allegations against Moore. Yes, my friends, the key word there, allegations. Never heard a shred of proof. All they were is allegations, which means this was just dirty politics. Well, today, dirty politics swung a major election. We'll be back.
Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be stable to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities of modern emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com.
The Lord makes the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people of no effect. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation, but God is the Lord. The people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America News Network.
Our All right, my friends, welcome back to Riell Truth. The big news is that this coming Monday, I will have Robert Spencer, the man behind Jihad Watch, as my guest for the full hour here on Riell Truth. Here he is speaking to a group about how political correctness is going to help Islam destroy the world. He'll be followed in the video by a guy named Douglas Murray who talks about the same topic. All right, Robert Spencer, Douglas Murray, go.
Yes.
What about the virus?
What about to control the majority?
So who's destroying Western civilization, my friends? Let me jump in with a question. Is it the Muslims? Well, yeah. Who else? It's a real question. Who else is destroying Western civilization? Who's the party most responsible for destroying Western civilization? It's a kind of a trick question. I apologize. The answer is Western civilization. We, Westerners, by giving in, by being weak, trying to be nice, trying to be PC, expecting that they will reciprocate. They don't, they won't, they never will. We are slitting our own throats in the West. Back to Robert Spencer and Doug Murray. Here comes Doug Murray.
that of these three things, which to my mind are perfectly obvious, I believe that Christians and Jews put up with hearing that most of the time, and I don't get called a Christophobe or a Judeophobe for saying so, but an Islamophobe straight off, absolutely. As I say, racism does exist, and we should be addressing that in our society. Islamophobia, as such, is a crock term. It is not to have any special seminar, any special hearing, any special vocal representatives. As an immigrant friend of mine always puts it, the moment when you know you're really integrated is when you realize that being a citizen consists of simply putting up with the same old crap the rest of us have to put up with. And that's it.
And that was Douglas Murray, my friends. Robert Spencer, talking a lot of good common sense. Now remember, Robert Spencer is going to be my guest for a whole hour this coming Monday, the 18th. You are going to want to listen and call in. Item from the Washington Post: the Democrats' seismic victory Tuesday in the unlikely political battleground of Alabama brought jubilation and a sudden rush of confidence to a party that's been struggling to gain its footing since Donald Trump won the presidency 13 months ago. Democrat Doug Jones' victory, the result of a vigorous turnout of the party's traditional voters and of Republicans splintering in a deeply conservative state, sent a thunderclap across the national political landscape that Democrats hope will signify an emerging comeback at the start of the 2018 midterm election campaign. In the immediate aftermath, Democrat leaders are eager to leverage a narrowed Republican majority in the Senate to try and stall the Trump agenda, including the GOP's $1.5 trillion tax package. Unquote. My friends, this election in Alabama may well have been debilitating. It makes it that much harder to get the Trump agenda, which is to say the American people's agenda, signed into law. We, meaning we, the country, we got to decide who and what we're going to be. If we're going to be Americans, then we need to look over our shoulders at what America has always been. If we're going to be something else, something weird and alien, well, then we're off the cliff and we can be whatever we want to be. But then we have to live with it. Item from CBS Local, Dateline, Mahwah, New Jersey. Thieves in New Jersey have been tampering with cell towers, and police say it could cause a dangerous and major communication blackout. We are a nation reliant upon cell phones. They're never too far away. Unquote. My friends, it speaks about society. Now we're damaging our own cell phone towers. What next? This is the result of decades of being told that, yeah, break the law. If it's an unjust law, break it. Do what you feel like. Do what you want. Nothing's more important than what you want. Well, that's what these people are doing. They want the equipment that's part of the cell tower, and so they're taking it. Perfectly in line with what America's been told for 30 to 40 years. Let's take a break, and we will come back, my friends. More Real Truth.
With Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Men, women, children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioAge.com. And now they just one nutritional supplement instead of 10. The Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products. More of the most nutrient-dense algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for the brain helps with focus, memory, clarity, and mood. If you increase brain health, the rest of the body is no brainer. Bio Superfood has zero toxicity and is safe for human impact. And order your Bio Superfood formulas at BioAge.com. Spelled BioAge.com. BioAge.com. Or call 877-288-9116. BioAge.
Power has been provided for reliable electrical power system in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on dependable power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities of modest emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full-service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design systems, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com. At the foot of the King Selection both of us, and we behold his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. The people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
All right, my friends, let's talk more about Roy Moore losing in Alabama here on the Joyce Kaufman Show earlier today, and Coulter.
Welcome back.
Sure. It used to be, back when we were kids, abortion was a fantastic litmus test. It's what separated someone like Ronald Reagan from George Bush and all the moderate Republicans. Half the Republican Party used to be pro-abortion. Then Reagan ran as, Mr. Pro-Life, won 2 landslide elections and won the Cold War. Now every Republican is pro-abortion. It means nothing. We are looking for a litmus test to separate the mice from the men, and that is immigration. A Republican who's good on immigration, as Jeff Sessions was, as Mo Brooks is, they will be going on every other issue these idiot Republicans care about. It isn't just talking back to the media or pissing off the right people. I love ticking off the right people. I am someone who ticks off the right people.
Yes, you are.
But that isn't good enough.
No.
You have to have the basic issue that voters will forgive anything for. I mean, for 20 years, Republicans, voters have, every time they've been allowed to vote on the issue of immigration, starting with Proposition 187 in California, Eric Cantor, Donald Trump, the American people shutting down 3 sneaky amnesties the Republicans tried to push through. Every time Republicans, forget Republicans, both Democrats and Republicans, every time voters have a chance to make their opinion known on immigration, they keep voting less immigration, restrictions on immigration, no welfare benefits for immigration, no anger babies, we want a wall. Well, how stupid are these Republicans?
I don't know.
It's a winning issue right here.
And you had
Well, here's the thing, folks, and I'm sure Ann knows this. She's smarter than I am. Here's the thing. It's not the Republicans are stupid. They're not. They're smart. They're hip. They know what's going on. But it's not in their best interest to stem the tide of immigration. It's not in those politicians' best interest because the lobbyists, because the other special interests who are feeding them money and influence and promising them jobs if and when they leave office, they want immigration to continue as it is. And so the Republicans, they're not stupid. They're not wise. I'd say they're penny wise and pound foolish. I'd say that they're stupid because they're putting money in their own pockets and destroying the country for their children and grandchildren. But they're not stupid. They're cagey.
had multiple examples in the last, 3 or 4 weeks in Europe of chain migration. In America, except for Jeff Sessions.
I'll tell you about the future, Joyce. The future is bleak unless a whole bunch of stupid people in this country get smarter. Because Americans tend to vote stupid. Don't forget, Hillary Clinton, who is an absolute poison train wreck of a candidate, won the popular vote. Americans vote stupid. Our only hope is for more Americans to stop voting stupid and start voting smart. We're going to vote ourselves into the grave, my friends, if we're not careful. And we as Americans, we're not careful. We're turning into Europe. Good. Now look at what's happening in Europe. It's a disaster. We'll take a break and we'll come back, my friends. Stick around.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Phillips, founder of the Green Herb.
Well, it had to happen. Colorado legalized marijuana. Most people thought the Green Herb was a marijuana dispensary. Also, it was legalized on January the 1st, 2014. The same day we opened our new location at 4565 Gibbon Street, 1.5 blocks south of I-70. There are 83,000 cars a day passing in front of our new location on Gibbon Street, and most of them thought we were a marijuana dispensary. So we changed the name of our retail store to New Genesis Health, but we kept the name of our Green Herb Summit. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, New Genesis Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372. And be sure to listen to the Healthy Nature Show with Linda Phillips every Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Now this is the testimony of John when the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, "Who are you?" He confessed and did not deny, but confessed, "I am not the Messiah." And they asked him, "What then? Are you Elijah?" He said, "I am not." "Are you the prophet?" And he answered, "No." The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 19 through 21.
The associates at your 24-hour super center will not be able to. No one anywhere is more noble, righteous, blessed, or courageous than our United States Armed Forces. These brave men and women have been with the bill for our freedom every day. In the military care package today to let us know that they are in our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts. The message is from the equipment 24-hour Walmart Supercenter on Highway 287 in Lafayette. They're on the air because they care.
Folks, let's go back in time. Not that far. Let's go back to last August. Dinesh D'Souza was speaking at the King's College in New York City. And he was talking about exactly what social justice is and what social justice misses. Very important to hear. Dinesh D'Souza.
And so, for example,
My friends, that's a very, very good insight. What we call poor, the world does not call poor. We're amazingly lucky in this country, and we are blowing it. We're blowing it. We're giving it away. Item from Newsweek. Chinese police have started gathering blood types, DNA samples, fingerprints, and iris scans from millions of people in its Muslim-majority Xinjiang province to build a massive citizen database, according to a report by activist group Human Rights Watch. The report, published Wednesday, said officials are collecting the data from citizens between the ages of 12 and 65 using a variety of methods. Authorities are gathering DNA and blood samples through medical checkups. It was unclear if patients were aware that their biometric data was being collected for the police during these physical exams. Unquote. They're collecting this information on Muslims. Why not simply get rid of the Muslims?
With Bio Superfood, the most advanced nutritional whole food supplement you can buy. Children, even Olympic athletes the world over have discovered Bio Superfood from BioH.com. Now take just one nutritional supplement instead of the Bio Superfood formulas are whole food products developed over the most significant algae found on Earth. Bio Superfood for the brain helps with focus, clarity, and mood. You can increase brain fat. The rest of the body is a no-brainer. Bio Superfood and zero toxicity and it's safe for human defense. And overdue Bio Superfood formula at BioH.com. Spelled BioHGE.com. BioH.com. Or call 877-288-9116.
And of his fullness we have all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ. No one has seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, who is in the bosom of the Father, he has declared him. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 16. We live the water plan in Vermont. The drug problem is well done. We know our kids will be approached at early age. We want to applaud the youngsters in our community who have had the strength to know the drugs. They provide examples to their peers and families to be the best they can be. As for the water plan located at 366 Grand Street in the Woodland, serving our area 1943, specializing in natural HB and 4 and complete custom process. Call 303-2240. That's 303-2240.
All right, my friends, we got 4 minutes left. Here is the latest column from Ann Coulter, just came out, and I quote, Representative Mo Brooks was the true Trumpian candidate in Alabama, which is why I endorsed him in the primary. When the accusations against Roy Moore first arose, I proposed the president make a deal to replace Moore with Brooks. Obviously, the GOP would be in a much better position right now if only Republicans had learned to hang on my every word. Instead, everyone did exactly the wrong thing, and they got the worst of all possible worlds. Trump should have endorsed Brooks in the primary, but he endorsed Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's pro-amnesty candidate, Luther Strange, on the advice of his son-in-law, because who knows Alabama better than Jared Kushner? Now, Trump has twice lost in a state that voted for him by a nearly 3-to-1 margin over Hillary just last year. Apparently, Trump's voters won't blindly follow him, whatever he does. I wonder if this is relevant information for the midterms. McConnell spent millions upon millions of dollars in nasty ads to defeat Mo Brooks in the primary because Brooks takes sensible positions on immigration. Can't have that. McConnell pulled out all the stops to block Brooks so he could keep big donors rolling in cheap foreign workers. Soon they'll have all the labor they need, and a federal government run by Hugo Chavez. The Chamber of Commerce is diversifying Republicans out of their jobs. Thanks to McConnell's brilliant strategy of opposing Brooks, now he's stuck with another Democrat and a razor-thin Senate majority. McConnell fully deserves to lose his majority, but the rest of us don't deserve the horror of a Democratic Senate. Unfortunately, I can't figure out a way to do one and avoid the other. The most status-conscious Republicans were hysterical about Roy Moore's holy roller Christianity. I hope their tax cut bill dies. Should have backed Mo Brooks. The good news is, even with the media carrying on a 24/7 about Moore being a child molester and pedophile, the election was still a nail-biter. I salute the good people of Alabama and admire their contempt for the media. But otherwise, Moore's loss is good news for patriotic Americans. First of all, the media would have set up tents outside Moore's Senate office around the clock, capturing his every utterance so they could broadcast anything stupid he said and demand that all Republicans defend it or disavow it. Most important, now Mo Brooks can run in 2020 and return the seat to a respectable Alabamian who's rock solid on most important issue. Everyone who screwed the pooch on this one better realize fast, all that matters is immigration. It's all that matters to the country, and it's all that matters for winning elections. Anti-establishment is not a winning issue. Without immigration as the GOP's lodestar, every election will be a rerun of the Tea Party from 2010 to 2012, when Republicans lost Senate seat after Senate seat entirely in unforced errors. We'll have to watch helplessly as establishment Republicans, quote-unquote, fight anti-establishment Republicans over the right to milk a he-goat. Both sides will lose, and Democrats will sweep Congress and destroy our country. Immigration was never a top issue for Moore, though. When pressed, he gave the right answers. That's not a good way to prioritize. Republicans who treat immigration as a back-burner issue should be required to run on the issues they consider more important in California. See how your arguments fare in a state that's already been transformed by immigration. That's your new country. Conservatives who ignore immigration while carrying on about taxes, defense spending, ISIS, abortion, and the Ten Commandments are too stupid to be of any real help. That's why McConnell and House Speaker Paul Ryan keep producing loss after loss for Trump. They've turned the Trump presidency into the Bush presidency, but this time with Jared Kushner. GOP candidates are not going to win on hating the Republican establishment any more than Republicans are going to win on Donald Trump's personality. The Alabama election proved both sides of that equation. My friends, I'll be back tomorrow with more Real Truth. Hasta luego.